What is your life-changing experience? Have you had a moment that completely shifted your perspective or opened a new chapter in your life? For me, as a musician, I have been blessed with unforgettable moments that have shaped me, both personally and professionally. Today, I want to share one of the most significant turning points in my journey, something that marked a new chapter in my life and career. Looking back, this experience was not just about the music. It was about connection, crossing cultural boundaries, sharing a message of peace, and realizing the power of music to unite people. It also taught me about myself, the courage to step into new roles, collaborate with global artists, and embrace my voice as a solo performer. This momentum sparked a transformation for me. Just a few years later from this memorable musical experience, I left my orchestra to fully embrace life as an independent artist. Taking that leap of faith opened the doors to incredible collaborations and opportunities I never could have envisioned at the time. One day in 2007, I received a call from my office. They asked if I would be willing to represent Korean traditional music at the International Music Concert organized by UNESCO. It was an incredible honor, also a rare opportunity to be selected for an international event outside of my regular orchestra work with the National Gugak Center. Since the National Gugak Center is a government organization, UNESCO had specifically requested a musician to represent Korea. I was recommended by the director of the orchestra. It was a privilege that I will never forget. I was thrilled. This was a chance to perform abroad, not with an orchestra, but as an individual artist working alongside global musicians. Of course, I immediately said yes. The tour was 2 weeks long, 10 days in Paris and 4 days in New York. I had concert tours internationally before, but always as part of a group. This time, it was different. I was flying solo, collaborating with musicians from all over the world. I was so excited about this new collaboration. A few years after this experience, performing internationally as an independent artist became part of my routine. 3 years later, in 2010, I left my position as a principal player in the orchestra at National Gugak Center and fully embraced life as a full-time performing artist. This concert tour in Paris and New York was a life-changing experience. I still remember the fresh, crisp air as I walked through the street in Paris. I saw people carrying baguette, noticed pigeons everywhere, and caught the scent of cigarette lingering in the air. It was November, a bit chilly, but everything felt so alive and fresh. Even the small inconveniences, like unkind shopkeepers or navigating unfamiliar streets, didn't bother me. It gave me complete free spirit, a sense of freedom I didn't even know I was craving. The first concert was held on November 26, 2007 at the UNESCO headquarters in Paris, accompanied by the Prague Philharmonic. The second performance took place on December 3, 2007 at Avery Fisher Hall at Lincoln Center in New York with Orchestra of St. Luke. These events were part of Melody for Peace, Dialogue Among Civilizations, organized by UNESCO. The project brought together a mixed orchestra that blended ethnic and classical music, creating a truly unique sound. One of Korea's renowned violinist, Ji-hyun Kim, was the soloist. The event was widely covered by Korean broadcasters and news outlets in New York, which made me feel incredibly proud to represent my culture on such a global stage. It was an unforgettable experience that reinforced the power of music. Rehearsals were intense and fun. For a week, I spent my morning commuting to the rehearsal space, working closely with the musicians, composer, conductor, and orchestra. Lunch was always baguette sandwich. In the evenings, we would gather for jam sessions. It was a special kind of magic, connecting with musicians from all over the world, despite language barriers. I met so many incredible music masters like Guo Gan, Chinese erhu player, and Min-sha Fan, pipa performer from New York, and many others. Though my English was slow and broken, the music created a universal bond. The Korean embassy even brought me flowers at the Paris concert. It was such a heartwarming gesture that I remember. The concerts went beautifully, and it was an incredible privilege to make my debut at Lincoln Center with my first performance in New York. Those performances marked a turning point in my life. The opportunity to represent Korean traditional music on such prestigious stages, collaborating with brilliant musicians, was unforgettable. It was not just about the music. It was about connection, culture, and growth as an artist. My short stay in New York was both a cultural shock and a love affair. I stayed in an old hotel near Times Square, surrounded by constant noise. Surprisingly, that chaotic environment felt inspiring. The city's vibrancy left such a deep impression on me. On my last day, before I returned to Korea, I couldn't hold back my tears. I already missed New York, even before I left. I promised myself I would return to this magical place again someday. After that event, my dear friend and composer Anthony Paul DeWittis, who wrote the orchestra piece we performed, he visited Korea because I loved his composition so much that I programmed it for a performance in Seoul in 2010. Melody for Peace has been a long-time favorite of my music, and I've performed it multiple times with incredible ensembles like TIMF, Tongyang International Music Festival Ensemble, and chamber music group Interwoven in New York. The following year, Anthony invited me to Northeastern University, where he teaches music. We made recording a new piece for PD and electronics, 5 movements for Korean PD, and 4 speaker audio. Since our first orchestra project at UNESCO in 2007, Tony has been a cherished collaborator. Together, we've brought new music to life at the international computer music festivals in cities like New York, Seoul, and Daegu in Korea. Our shared journey shows how music can connect people across continents and evolve into something timeless. Remember, most significant moments in life often start with a single step of courage. I hope you can get inspiration from my experience, my story. Thank you for listening, and I will see you in the next video.